All right, everyone, welcome back to another one of our market review videos. This is a long form video where we are going to deep dive into what just the heck happened to the Arizona real estate numbers in the previous month. So this is June's video, and we're going to be discussing all the numbers from May. So let's go ahead and get started. I am going to share with you right now my screen. So let me pull this up for you. All right, let's jump right in and look at these May factoid numbers for you. Let's look at our supply. So the supply number continues to go up. This is something that we're seeing across the board in Arizona real estate right now. Our supply keeps coming up, keeps coming up. Why is that? Well, we are still below historical amounts of inventory to offer our clients. Those numbers are still down, but the demand is down also. So that is why we keep seeing that supply number and that inventory number continue to go up. Now you'll notice they're not going up by great amounts. We went from 3.8 months worth of supply to 4 months of supply, and same thing with inventory, 132 days to 133 days of inventory. So those numbers are just going up a little bit, but what that means is that they are outpacing the demand for what we currently have on the market right now. If we look at our active days on market, those days went up a little bit, but it's going to be interesting because we're going to compare it to the next number as well. So again, not a huge amount, but about 4 days more on market right now is for our actives. And then our close days on market, you'll notice that number actually went down from 77 days down to 75 days. So if we take those two numbers and we kind of look at them objectively next to each other, there's a couple things that are happening. The houses that are prepped and ready to go to market and are appropriately priced, those are the houses that are selling. Now, that is really important for you to understand as a buyer, number one, because it means that the market is not moving as quickly as it has in years past. So if you're going to go see a house that has been on the market for a couple of months, that does not mean that there's anything necessarily wrong with that house. It means that the market is different. We're in a very more normalized market where things just don't move as quickly as they happen. So that's great. And I don't want you to automatically assume that there is something wrong with the house. It's just the market right now. Sellers, what does this mean for you? What this means for you is that A, you need to plan a little bit in advance, if at all possible, so that we get your house on the market in a time frame that allows you to get that house sold to do whatever it is that you're trying to do and meet the deadlines. You also need to have that house prepped for market. All right? It needs to look as best as it possibly can. It needs to put its best foot forward, and then it needs to be competitively priced. So if your agent is advising you to come in at a lower list price than what you were hoping for, look at the numbers, be objective. What's more important to you? What is the most important thing? Because in the market that we're in right now, sellers are not getting to have their cake and eat it too. Negotiations are happening, seller concessions are happening, all of the different things, and there's longer days on market right now. So sellers, you're no longer in the driver's seat. Buyers, you don't get to do a big flex right now, otherwise you're not going to get a house, because there is a little bit of a power struggle happening right now between the buyers and the sellers. So what we're looking for when we're negotiating on a house that we want is a win-win for everybody. Buyers, you don't get to win everything. Sellers, you don't get to win everything. Right now there's a lot of give and take, and buyers are being able to ask for things that they haven't been able to ask for in over a decade probably. So just be prepared. Negotiations are going to happen. All right, let's look at our price per square foot. Our active price per square foot continues to come down again as sellers are starting to come to grips with the reality of the market today. So we saw that number go down again. Again, it wasn't by a ton, but it was by a little bit. So right now our active price per square foot is sitting at $353.63 a square foot. Now if you go to the next line and you look at the sold price per square foot, you'll see that it's at $299.37. Now again, these numbers are so Arizona big picture. Your numbers for your house are going to be very micro. So we need to be able to dig into your neighborhood, your city, those kind of things, to look at both days on market, also to look at sales price and price per square foot. So while I'm giving you these numbers, there are general ideas, but if we're looking at your house specific, these numbers could look very, very different. Okay, average sale price, $106,000 and $475. I'm sorry, let's try that again. $475,000 is the average sold price in the month of May. Okay, what does that mean? May means that more of the higher price point houses sold in May than maybe the lower prices. But this is such an interesting number that we have next, our median sold. This, if you look down below that into the median sold for the last 12 months and then this month median sold, guys, that number has been exactly the same for over 12 months now. Over 12 months now, that number has been exactly the same. So the median price point in the state of Arizona as a whole is $450,000. So if you're planning to move here from out of state, yes, you can find a really decent house at $450,000 in the state of Arizona. That is our median house. That's our price point. So take that into consideration. Now, our average sold over the last 12 months, that number went up. So we may start to see that median sold creep up a little bit, but for right now, that's where we are. The average sold over the last 12 months, $596,443. Our appreciation. Now, again, I know that this first number is in red, so just a reminder, there's not a negative number in it, okay? It just means your appreciation slowed down. It's not negative appreciation. It's just that it slowed down. So right now, for the last 12 months, we're averaging an appreciation rate overall of 2.4%. The last 30 days, it was at 0.6%, and that came up because 30 days before that, it was actually a negative number. So things appear to be stabilizing. I'm not going to say improving, but they're stabilizing. It feels like maybe we've hit our bottom. What does that mean for you? Okay, sellers, it means don't get all excited and think that you are going to see prices start to skyrocket again. We're stabilizing. We're probably going to be here for a little while. So let's get real with the numbers. Let's get our houses ready. Make sure that everything is as pretty as you can make the house. No deferred maintenance, priced right, all those kind of things. That is how you're going to get your house sold. Right now, only 1 in 3 listings is actually getting to completion. Either they're getting withdrawn, they get canceled, something happens, but those houses are not actually, from the time that they get listed, they're not making it to completion. 1 in 3 sellers. So it's important that you're in that 2/3 that gets sold, right? All right, buyers, what does that mean for you? When the interest rates come down, which almost everybody is expecting, not by a lot, mind you, but we do expect them to come down into the mid 6s, maybe even the low 6s by the end of the year. So as soon as we hit better interest rates, you're going to have more competition. You're going to have less negotiating power. You're going to have a lot less of a lot. And then the days on market's going to go down. The prices are going to start to go back up. Like all those different things are going to start to happen. So I don't have a crystal ball, but if you were my kid, I would probably be advising you right now that if you can afford it, now is a really great time to make that purchase. Why? Because I don't think that the prices are going to come down a whole lot more. Don't. But as soon as those interest rates go down, you're going to have competition and those prices are going to go right back up. What would be the benefit of buying right now versus waiting for those interest rates to come down? You have more choices, more negotiation power, and once you've locked in that house, now if the interest rate comes down, you can refinance and get that interest rate down to that new lower interest rates. There are a lot of lenders right now who are guaranteeing that if the rates come down in the next year, they'll do it for you, no charge to you. So that's a question you can ask your lender and see if that's something that they're offering right now. But we have several lenders that we work with that are offering that guarantee right now. So guys, that is the market update. as a whole. And if you have any questions, we are always here to be a resource for you. We love to dig into your numbers specifically and let us help you with the plans that you've got going on. This next year is going to be a really, really interesting one. And especially if those interest rates start to come down, it's going to be really interesting to watch and see what happens to the Arizona real estate market. We're still a sought after market. We are still bringing industry to Arizona. There's a lot of good things still happening here in Arizona. So keeping our real estate market strong and steady, which is exactly where we want to be. We do not want to be volatile. We don't want to be like burning up with a fever like we have been in the years past. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. But in the meantime, I'm Katie Evans, aka the Real Estate Boss Mom, here to help you out with all of your Arizona real estate needs. Please, if you haven't already, give us a like, give us a thumbs up, give us a subscribe, and we'd love to hear your comments in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you on our next video.